Oh, I gotta put my seatbelt on. Not hit your car. Where are we going?
Like, wherever you want to go.
Okay, so.
Yeah, stop.
All right, so that was our intro song.
And we don't know what happened to it.
We don't know what happened to it, but that's okay. So welcome to the drive.
Welcome.
So we have no idea where we're going. Should we let it play?
No, because I don't know.
Okay. So remember when I said we don't know what will happen? That's exactly what is happening. So we're going to tell you a little bit about what you can expect on the drive. A little bit about kind of why we decided to do this. We really just want to help share the peace of mind that we found through what we do. And that's going to be my...
Oh, there you go.
Yep. So, Brenda's on my phone. She's going to be sharing that out, tagging people and all that good stuff. So,
And reading your comments.
oh, yeah, reading their comments. And so... Anyway, we just wanted to be able to share the peace of mind we've had, but do it in a way, because we go into companies, we go into churches, we talk to individuals, we teach online, but this is a much more informal way of doing it and a way that we can kind of talk to you about what it is that's impacting you as well and make sure that we're, hitting on all those points too.
Right.
So, and have a ton of fun along the way because
we're fun girls.
Because we love to have fun. So... that's a little bit about what the drive is going to be about, and honestly it may evolve as we're doing it. We'll kind of go with the flow,
right? And we want you all to be as much a part of this as absolutely possible, so you'll see us asking questions and just getting you involved in every way possible. We definitely don't want this to be a situation to where we're talking at you or just talking to each other. We want you guys to chime in, give your input. So we'll be asking some very pointed questions, and we'd love your input on everything that we're talking about. As I said, I'm reading comments here, so every now and again I'll chime in with something that somebody's saying. Justin said he's excited for the drive.
Yay!
He said good morning.
Justin, huge shout out to Justin for his love and support on this. You guys,
Insights.
Yes.
And prayers.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, and we want you to share this out. It's a road trip. Let's bring as many people along as we can, share it out. What we're going to do is next Friday, out of all the people that have shared this, we're going to do a drawing, and we'll send you a special gift no matter where you are in the country. But if you're local, it might be a little more special.
It'd be really special.
Or if we want to get to where you are, it might be special. But anyway, it'll be special no matter what. But so yeah, definitely share that out, and we want people to come in and take a road trip with us.
Charles said good morning, and Shelly said good morning.
Good morning,
everyone. We're so excited to have so many people on. You guys rock. You're super awesome. So thank you very much. So I guess first we'll kind of talk about what you can expect in upcoming shows. This show is really, like we said, it's our inaugural episode. We want to introduce ourselves to people who may not know who we are. Well, we'll introduce each other to people who may not know exactly who we are, and just so that you can get to know us a little bit. In future shows, we have next episode we'll go into steer a little bit more for those of you who don't know what steer is. I think the one after that we talk about a question that we both get, so you guys have to hang on and figure out what that question is, and we'll talk about that and give you a little bit more detail as we go along.
And I think too, some of the topics that we'll talk about, we did the first three. We decided what we're going to talk about the first three, but really your input is going to help us determine what the other shows are about.
Right.
We know that some of the topics that we cover in our workshops will be some of the things that we cover on here, so those are conversations that we have. We talk about navigating toxic relationships,
right,
forgiveness of yourself and others. We talk about work-life balance, time management. We've got all kinds of different topics.
Yes.
Overcoming any issues that you may have, limiting beliefs, things like that. So,
and we'll have fun while we talk about all of this stuff. So don't get all bogged down and heavy, because we'll make sure that you have a lot of fun as we talk about it. So we hope that you enjoy it just as much as we enjoy it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. These things, I think so many times, I had a family member that said something to me. It was a couple years back, but like my posts were always very, you know, all about emotional wellness and mental health. And he's like, you're so serious. I'm like the farthest from serious. So that's the thing. Like, I think sometimes we think that mental health has to be a serious topic, that emotional wellness has to be something that you can't joke around about. But I think, like, at least for us, we own our dysfunction.
A little. We definitely own it.
Yeah.
And embrace it and find how we can work it to our advantage. So instead of kind of burying our heads in the sands all the time, sometimes that can happen, but instead of doing that on a regular basis to the point where it's unhealthy, we kind of embrace it and find ways to make it work for us, and we want to help you guys do the same thing.
Yeah, and I think I forgot what I was gonna say.
Lisa said hi from Houston, Texas. Hey, Texas.
Hey. Oh,
that's like one of my favorite places, like San Antonio, Texas.
Well, Houston's a little north.
It is.
Texas
I went there.
Is so big. It's so, and I Lisa was my HR buddy here, and anyway, hi Lisa. So yeah, so the serious topics, what else we were going to say about that? Or the serious, but they don't have to be. And we'll try not to ever be inappropriate, but it might happen from time to time, and you'll see like how just imperfect we are. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I knew it was something like really important. That basically we're all just, spoiler alert, we're all screwed up a little bit. We just are.
All of us, right.
So, and what we find when we talk to people, whether it's in groups, whether it's one-on-one, we find so many moments where people are like, yeah, me too. I experienced that too. And I thought I was the only one. And I promise you, like, no matter what you're going through, you're just not the only one.
Right.
I promise.
And there's strength in numbers. And knowing
yeah.
that there are more people who are going through the same things. You feel a little bit more strong in knowing that you can have sort of a support system and knowing that you're not alone.
Yeah, speaking of support system, if anybody wants to join, we have a group called Stereo Life Coaching Group.
I don't think it's coaching in.
No, Stereo Life Group. You're welcome if you're not already a part of it. You're welcome to be a part of it. Like, that group helped us yesterday with the test drive, which was awesome.
Which was hilarious. That's what it was.
We had take 1, 2, and 2.5, 2.5. But it was awesome. So, yeah.
Justin wants to know if we're driving anywhere particular today.
We aren't. We actually didn't set any agenda. I'm just driving down. We have a main strip here in Akron called West Market, and we're driving right down that. And I kind of was thinking a little bit ago, maybe we'll just go on to over by Medina and get on 70, whatever highway that is over there.
I don't know any highway numbers or directions.
Yeah, not 77, but whatever the other one is there. I don't know where we're going. I actually got lost yesterday in my own neighborhood, literally. So we may get lost, and that's okay too. But
we'll make it all metaphorical and figure out a way to tie it into what we're doing and be like, we did that on purpose just to let you know that sometimes in life you might get lost, but it's all about finding your way back.
All roads lead home. I used to tell Trevor that when we were little, or when he was little, when we were little. I was little too then. But
thank you so much, Justin. Justin shared the link to join the group.
Oh, yay, thank you.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, yeah, I used to say to Trevor, because he's like, are we lost, Mom? Because I would get lost all the time. And I'm like, all roads lead home. And he's like, not if you're on an island. He's so smart. He said that when he was really little.
He is.
So, we totally didn't introduce ourselves yet.
We did not. So, I guess we should do that.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you?
Sure.
Okay, so most of you already know what Steer is. It is a model that just has helped us so much in life, and we will go in more detail about that next week. But Kat was the creator of Steer. She actually made it start to finish all on her own, and we always talk about how I get a little bit frustrated because she gets too modest, and when she explains it, she's like, it's kind of like this thing that we do, it's our process. I'm like, no, it's your process that you created, so I'm gonna need you to shout about it. So she is the creator of Steer Your Life Coaching. She's the CEO of SYLC Consulting, and just an all-around awesome person.
Thanks. You're a little biased, but thanks.
A little bit, maybe. She's also an awesome mom with an awesome kid. Trevor's like one of my favorite people in the world. What else?
Recovering HR manager.
Oh yeah, I always forget to say that because she's not really recovered. I guess that's why it's recovering. She always has that like inner HR to herself. You could have told me about this whole situation right here.
What? Oh, I didn't see anything.
That was my hair. It's sticking out.
Yeah, we probably should do a little.
We didn't do any trimming or prepping.
We didn't. We just got in the car and went. So yeah, that's
in a
me,
nutshell.
Right?
Yeah.
And Brenda, this is Brenda, my business partner, and Brenda Coulter. She is also an awesome mom of 4 amazing kids.
Yay.
Daughters who I like to, kind of. I don't have a girl, so.
Because they are cat, like they're like the same person. Oh my gosh.
She doesn't mean that in a good way.
No, I don't mean that in a good way at all. They're like all the same person. You drive me nuts, but I love them all.
So, I forgot what I was gonna say about you because I don't like you anymore.
Jeez, that was fast.
No, Brenda is the creator of Her Beautiful Mind, and Her Beautiful Mind does coaching for individuals, but also goes into churches to teach the STEER model.
Yes.
And she is taking on a new project, which if you have not seen this yet, I definitely connect with her. There is a name. Give me the title because I always forget.
Me Too.
Oh,
it's a long title.
Don't say Me Too, you'll get in trouble. That's not the title of it.
Okay, yeah, it's not entitled Me Too, but Me Too. I always forget the title.
Sorry, Trina Birkin, that's all yours.
It's the Ohio Coalition for the Prevention of Black Maternal Toxic Stress.
So it's a mouthful, but it's a huge undertaking. But what you're finding as you launch this is that there are a lot of people who want to be a part of it. It's sort of a missing piece that's happening in Ohio, and as far as we know, maybe around the country.
Right, because people are doing the work to combat infant mortality, particularly in the Black community, but nobody's focusing on this toxic stress component, and it is a major component. So I'm just going to hone in on that specifically and tackle that with the moms directly.
So Brenda's working with a local company local organization here that we have called Greenleaf, and you'll be doing an event.
Yes. Starts August 13th.
And it'll be like 4 of them, right?
Yes, 4 weeks. August 13th, every Tuesday for 4 weeks, I'll be teaching mommies how to steer. Yeah.
So it's it's a wonderful thing, and she was invited down to Columbus to be a part of the what's the Black Caucus.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
like
more
an event, like a conference.
And they were talking about it, and of course the way her mind works is how can I help these moms, and STEER was part of it, and you relate to it because it's stuff that you've gone through.
That's how I steered my way through my own personal trauma with motherhood. The traumatic experience, but STEER is how I worked my way through it, so it fits perfectly. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
me in a nutshell.
So I feel like there's stuff that I'm missing though. It's back there. I'm not going to reach for it. But she also wrote a book. We were part of an anthology together.
Right.
It was an Amazon #1 bestseller. That's called Heart and Soul. It's on Amazon. And then Brenda also wrote a book entitled Her Beautiful Mind.
Yep, all about overcoming.
And it's an awesome book where you actually work through things. You work through
STEER.
Yeah, you work through STEER. So, so she's an author, speaker, mama,
you're all that stuff
business
too.
Partner. Yeah, I guess we both are.
So that's us. Anyway, that's who we are.
Yeah, and sort of like why we do this. Like I mentioned that we want to do this because we want to. Our goal is always to help people and help people find peace faster.
Oh yeah.
And STEER's done that. So it's really. The other why for us is that we've been in these places that kind of stink, and been, okay, that's more than it just stinks. We both have tattoos, let's be honest about where we've been.
Right.
We both have tattoos that have the semicolon. And if you're not familiar with that, there's a semicolon project that was started, I wish I could remember the person's name, but it was started in honor of her dad. As a symbol, he had taken his own life, and it's a symbol of my story isn't over yet. And in 2010, I was in a very dark place, and I was having suicidal ideations, and very, very serious ones. I reached out for help, but I still lived in a depression for about like a functional depression for about 3 years. And I finally, as I was coming out of it, that's where steer came from. We'll talk more about that later. I won't go into all that right now. But, so that was one of the things. I wanted a reminder where I could see it, that my story isn't over yet, and sharing with other people, you know, helps about that.
Them and us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it helps us too. It really does. I mean, that's the thing that anytime, like, well, we'll talk about this and other things, but if you're in a funk, one of the best ways to get out of a funk is go help somebody. Go do something nice for somebody. Hold the door open for them, or, you know.
It feels good to see other people feel good.
Yeah.
It helps you feel good.
Yeah, it really does.
And to be the one to facilitate that is really awesome. So it's kind of a, I don't know, I was going to really use the wrong word right there. I was going to say aphrodisiac. That's not right.
No. That's not.
It's like
no.
But it makes you feel good. What is that? It's like a
endorphin, maybe, but
I don't
know. Aphrodisiac. That's the wrong thing.
You know, that kind of deal without the okay.
That thing. Don't.
Moving right along.
Okay. So, and why the drive? Why did we call it the drive? Changing the subject here.
Smooth.
Yeah. Did you see that transition? I
steered it.
What is that? Well, no, what's it called when you do like from one thing to another? Segue.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it wasn't a segue.
It wasn't.
It was a choppy segue. It was what it would look like if I got on a Segway. Anyway.
That's hilarious. That was funny. Okay.
All right. So why did we do the drive? A lot of reasons. One is we've been talking about doing this for quite a while, and we were like, we've got a great space in downtown Akron and beautiful offices. Like, maybe we should do it there. Somebody laughing at us.
Yeah, Justin said definitely not an aphrodisiac. Well, maybe for some people.
Okay, we're changing the subject, Justin.
Sorry, that was funny too.
So,
we're a little off-centered.
Oh, okay. So
Thanks, Charles.
What was I gonna say? Oh, hey, shout out for my shirt.
Oh,
my shirt is it
Courtney
says
Reynolds.
Yeah, it says I can literally do anything, and I have another one that says authentic. You have one that says,
I have both of those too. I have authentic, I can literally do anything, and something about being a superhero and an awesome woman.
Yeah, that's the bright yellow one.
Yes, that's my favorite.
Courtney Reynolds, look her up. She's doing some other projects too, but she's awesome, and we love her and her shirts and her inspiration and all that kind of good stuff. And she was part of an event with us last year called Be the Reason, which is another thing we've done together.
That is.
So anyway, the drive. Let's go back to that.
Oh, that's something we can talk about in a future episode. Mm-hmm. We'll do that. Okay.
So the drive, we decided, well, we were right across the street from the library, and they've got a recording studio, and we're like, maybe we should do a podcast there, and blah, 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 blah. But we really wanted it to be, well, first of all, we tie everything in a very corny way back to steer. So it's all about driving and alignment and, adjustment. Not adjustment. That's not a steer thing. Why can't I think of a single driving term? Idle. Fuel. We fuel. We talk about self-care and fueling.
Y'all will get sick of it. It'll get sickening real fast, and then you just embrace it.
Yeah, I think they'll
after a while. Like at first, you're kind of like, oh my god, another driving term, and then you're like, no way.
Yeah, I think they'll like it because, remember. So one of the things we talk about is that we steer around potholes. Like we're very, very. We have an awesome friend, Michelle Kreidler. Shout out to her that we super respect. Who's a therapist, and we really understand that as life coaches, we're not digging deep into potholes. We're steering around a pothole. Oh, this probably is for next week too, but you'll get a sneak peek into next week. That's a big motorcycle. Did you guys hear that?
It's loud too.
So I probably should make sure I should be somewhere where, drive somewhere where I can make sure that I'm not going too fast or too slow. I feel like a lot of people are passing me. I was trying to put my steering wheel up because I can't.
Well, because you're doing 46 and a 55.
That's okay.
It is, but that's why people are going around you.
I can't. I gotta move my steering wheel up so I can see. I can't see my speedometer. I'm leaning up.
Speedometer.
Do you know that story about my mom?
No.
Oh my gosh, she was working on these parts.
Is she gonna mind you telling this story?
No, she won't mind. But she was working on these. Oh, we're doing a show. Never mind. No,
I was gonna say maybe.
No, like she was working on these parts. She used to work in a factory, and like many years ago. Anyway, so they were like speedometer something,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, "What do I do with these speedometer things?" 'Cause
Oh,
that's what she thought it
see, I did too. That's why I used
It makes
to think
sense.
That's what it looks like.
You know what I always wondered? How come it's bicycle and motorcycle? Yeah. Shouldn't it be
Mind
bicycle or motorcycle?
Probably because those sound really silly.
Because we
But
don't
would
say
they sound
them.
silly
No.
if that's what we originally
Yeah.
said?
No, it wouldn't. No, it would be what we say all the time. But why is that? Why do we pronounce those differently?
I
Okay.
forgot where we were.
We were talking about the drive. So we decided it would fit into very nicely and cornerly too. And I don't look at the camera, I'm looking at the road, so that helps me.
Right. And plus we have our best conversations in the car when we're riding somewhere, and we've like encountered so many people who will be like, I would just love to be involved in a conversation with you guys and see how you guys interact. So we had to kill two birds with one stone. We get to have our normal, pretty awesome conversations in a car, and you guys get to watch, you get to join in, and we all get to talk together.
Yeah. So we wanted to tackle we're about 20 minutes, so we wanted to like just tackle one topic that you guys have. We told you some of the things, and it can be something that we've mentioned already, or it could be, something that you're dealing with, and we can talk a little bit about it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So it can be like
or
I said,
a question that you've already that you've always had about one of our workshops, or something that you've heard us say before, or pretty much anything that we can kind of talk about. So we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
We still got 6 people on here. This is pretty awesome.
Yay!
This is fun. It is. I was so excited this morning. So we're just waiting for someone to comment, and we'll see. And if not, we'll just move on.
Well, we talk about some of the stuff we were dealing with recently, but we'll wait.
Yeah, we don't mind. Maybe you guys can help us. No, I'm just kidding. Coach us. Life coaches need coaches too.
We do. All right, that was probably not timed right, but with the.
Oh, he said. Justin said he's keeping tabs on all these incredibly hilarious gems. Speedometer.
That's awesome.
Oh, Justin, ask the question again, please. So we are answering or just having a conversation about anything that you guys out there might want to talk about. So if there's any issues that you've had that you're trying to tackle, or any questions that you have about something that we've said in the past or here in this broadcast.
So let's talk about some of the topics we have, and it could be these topics or other things. We've mentioned self-care,
right? Navigating
toxic relationships, setting healthy boundaries,
work-life balance,
forgiveness for yourself and others,
overcoming,
meditation. That could be one. We do a meditation every Thursday in downtown Akron. Right now we're doing it in the plaza, but we'll be I'm going really slow. I'm going 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, you said it was okay.
Well,
She's like, not 40, 46 wasn't okay, but 40.
I didn't.
55.
I wasn't mathing very well. I was like, I thought it was only 5 miles different, and then I realized I was going 15 miles an hour under. I'm like, at least I don't speed. I go.
At least we're
slower.
safe.
Well, I don't know about safe either.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah. So, what are other toxic relationships? Forgiveness.
We can never think of them when we need to. When we're like on, it's like, oh, we do this and that and this and that.
Yeah.
Justin said, how about work-life balance during the summer when kids are happening? That's what kids do. They happen. That's exactly what they do.
That's a good one. Let's see. So one of the things I would say is, first of all, and this is what most of everything we talk about will be, to like understand what you're thinking about it. So it would be, what am I thinking? Are you guilting yourself? Are you shaming yourself? Like, I should be spending more time with my kids, or I should be spending more time with at work. So that would be the first thing, is to know what it is that you're thinking about it. Because our process is always going to be to help you train your brain toward peace of mind.
Right.
So we're not necessarily, like, we can refer people that will help with, like, actual time management and all that kind of stuff.
We do, like, basic time management stuff.
Yeah.
With scheduling and things like that.
Yeah. But for this, it's really about, like, finding peace of mind. So, like, for me, what's the matter?
Charles said, don't should on yourself.
Right.
That's right.
Don't. And the thing that I always tell people is when I hear should, like, literally, I was talking to somebody the other day that's like, oh, I shouldn't feel this way. And it literally is the worst sounding word for
reaction.
me. Yes.
It creates a reaction in you.
Because it's shaming. You're shaming yourself. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And if you change it to could, I could be doing that, and then figure out why you're not. I mean, I think that's super important. But for work-life balance, I think finding out what you want to do more or less of would be the first thing. So is it that you want to spend more time with your kids and family, or more time at work and family? I mean, at work. Oh, sorry, you're like family at work. So I kind of get those two.
We get kind of mixed up.
So that would be the first thing. I'm going to let you go with some of the stuff there.
The second thing would be, once you figure that out, creating an actual schedule. Like, I realize that it's not necessarily a bad thing that I have to schedule my time with my kids, just to make sure that I'm staying on track with work, and that I can be sure that I'm creating an actual balance. So if I write out my schedule and I see that I'm at work for way more time than I'm with my kids, then I can look at that schedule and I can adjust it accordingly. So kind of understanding that sometimes we have to write these things out, because if it just came to us, then we would kind of just do it automatically, and it wouldn't be so difficult to figure out. So taking that time.
The dog's in the sunroof.
It's out of the sunroof. It's hilarious. It's a huge dog hanging out of the top of the sunroof. But just understanding that writing that out can give you more of a visual representation of what you're doing with your time. And with that visual representation, then you can go in and figure out exactly where the adjustments can be made. But again, like Kat said, that's after figuring out what you want to be doing more or less of.
And I think two things with that. One is you're being much more intentional with your time.
Right.
And the other is that you're setting healthy boundaries. And again, whether that's healthy boundaries for your family or healthy boundaries for yourself at work. I'm going off of, like, typical, because typically it's that we want to spend more time with our family, but we're spending more time at work. So if that's not what you mean, or if you guys have a different one, and I would say, like, Brenda and I differ a little bit. I tend to rebel against schedules, and as soon as I set one, I get a little weird about it.
Yes.
So I think the other thing is know yourself really well, and don't try to, like, push yourself. Don't be a square peg in a round hole.
Ooh.
Because
that was good.
It's never gonna, it's not gonna work for you. So find out what works for you and make it work for you.
And accept the fact that that may be different from whatever you may see someone else doing, or however. We realized that when we created our own schedules, that ours were very different. Kat wanted to be able to cut off at a certain time, and I'm like, I don't know, I just kind of work through whatever. But then even once we created those schedules, we had to realize this is not set in stone, because we created our schedules, and then we were like, yeah, I don't think I want to do this way. So we went back and we revised it. So understanding that whatever you do decide initially is not set in stone, and sometimes it might it might take some changing and tweaking before you figure out an actual schedule that works well for yourself, or that you and your family are happy with.
And I think, like, I know for me, novelty is really good, so I do need to change it up some. I also know that I need, like, I'm really aware of my, like, energy levels, when they're the best, when they're, and not to compare yourself with others.
That's the key.
It really is. Because the thing is, we read all these self-help books, or we see all these different things that say,
I'm going to Erie Pa.
No, we don't want to. Where's this going to take us?
I don't know.
Are we going to go this way?
Sure. I don't know where I don't want to go to Erie Pa.
I think that's right, and I think this will dump us off on 77. I think.
I'd have know expressway numbers at all. Like, I don't know, or directions.
I think this will drop us off on 77, like by Brecksville area. I think.
I'm kidding.
So, yeah, not comparing yourself, finding what works for you,
Right.
owning that, and yeah, I think that's
it. I hope that answered your question, Justin, or I hope that helped in any sense of the word. If not, let us know if we just rambled on for about 10 minutes about a question that you weren't even asking. So we do that sometimes too. No, I'm kidding.
No,
we do that to each other. We do that to each other all the time.
And then this is my favorite line. Like in the middle of what I'm saying, I'm like, what was I talking about? Why was I telling you that?
You do that. And sometimes we never even get back to it. We go, yeah, I don't know. Okay, that's fine.
Look, I-77 in 9 miles. Look at me making a circle.
That helps. Oh, so I don't understand how this did that.
It's a circle. Like, I think 4 means it's going around, 2 means it's connecting.
What do you, 4 and 2? What do you,
oh, like 271, 477.
What?
Mm-hmm. And did you know the odd numbers run north and south, and even numbers run east and west?
No.
True. Yep. It's true. My dad told me that. Although, if I understood numbers, I would probably be able to figure that out. But we don't.
Who said, "Wow, I missed it"? You didn't miss it, Pooh. There'll be a replay.
Yeah. So, yeah, the replay will come back up, and
it'll be on YouTube sooner or later.
Yeah, we're gonna be uploading it to.
I don't know. We'll look at it. We'll see. We won't give you guys a time frame because we don't know.
It'll be there when we figure it out.
It's really easy.
Okay.
It's pretty simple.
Okay.
It's seriously just an upload.
Okay. All right.
Because we're not editing or anything. I think we'll get to that sooner or later, but for now.
Yeah.
We'll look back at these episodes and laugh like, I can't believe we did that.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. So, yeah. So, any other questions that anybody has? But we really kind of wanted, we didn't have like a set time, but we were thinking around a half an hour. This is where we're at.
Okay.
32 minutes, yep.
I could do this all day, you guys. This is so awesome. This is great.
So any topics that you may have, like take a look at our website and look at what we do on our like workshops and things like that. But if there are other things too.
SYLCconsulting.com.
Oh yeah, you better say that.
I'll put it in the comments.
Okay. And what else? I think that was kind of it. I think that was, unless anybody has questions for us, but certainly send them our way, share this out. And like I said, on Friday, we're going to do a drawing for the people that have shared it out throughout the week.
Yes.
So and announce the winner next week. So we'll do that. Maybe we'll do it each week.
I think we will. I think we can do it each week. So each week, we'll...
Look at us making decisions.
On the spot decision. That's how it works. Justin said, great job. Thank you so much, Justin. We appreciate your support. Thank you so very absolutely much. And I guess this wraps up our first episode of The Drive. We look forward to seeing you guys. Oh, cheers. Yay!
Yay! Oh, hard. Don't knock it out of my head.
We look forward to seeing you guys next week.
All right, thank you
and
for
talking with
us.
you, and just let us know if you have any questions or any topics in mind. Thank you so much. Have a happy Saturday. Wait, I gotta get. Oh, no. Oh, wait.